I'm gonna show you how we fit this into there.
Guess I'll have to repeat that.
If I sound very much out of breath, it's because I am. It's currently like 31 degrees outside, so it is extremely warm. And you may be wondering, stop! No more plates. So you may be wondering why I have two of these same enclosures. I'll explain why. Back in 2018, I made this DIY enclosure here that Lenny currently lives in, and the wood that I chose to build it out of is a very popular one for building hamster DIYs, and that is melamine wood. Melamine wood is a water-resistant type of wood they make. They put these two layers on each side, so it's kind of like if liquid gets on it, it's not going to soak into the wood and wreck it. So that's why a lot of people tend to actually use it. Something I did not know up until recently is that the regulations for making melamine wood are a lot different in Canada and the US compared to Europe, who has a little harsher restrictions on how it's made. In Canada and the US, there's not a ton of regulations on how the wood is made. One thing is that if it is chewed, it's potentially toxic, which I've never personally actually had a hamster chew the wood, which is great, but something I didn't know is it can potentially give off VOC gases, which is not good. So as soon as I found this out, I went ahead and I picked up some, I think it's called Super Bond plywood, the aspen version. And this is a plywood, the company makes it 100% natural. The glue that they use is 100% natural. So it's 100% safe this time. And the inside, I've lined it with some water-based contact paper so that the inside is water resistant, and I went ahead and painted the outside to just match the old cage, and yeah, I wanted to just put it out there because I think a lot of people don't know this in the US and Canada, so that is just kind of a little bit of a warning to my fellow Canadians and Americans. So obviously, since I have this cage built, there is no glass, and I'm going to have to steal it off this one because I no longer want to use the melamine wood in this. So that means Lenny has to move into the NiteAngel cage. So that is what I'm going to be doing today. Since Lenny is moving into a whole new enclosure, we need to do a couple of things to ensure that it's the least stressful experience for him, and this goes for any hamster who is moving into a new enclosure. The first thing you're going to want to do is use as much of the old bedding from the previous cage as you possibly can. I went through and sorted all of the clean pieces of the bedding. Just this clean bedding has some herbs in it, that's about it. For the rest of it, it is essentially clean, but it does still have his smell on it, and I've put it into this enclosure. Another thing is that you're going to want to pretty much make the setup identical to how it previously was. Of course, if you're upgrading the enclosure, you're going to probably have to add in more things because it is a larger space, but try to keep the layout almost exactly the same as it originally was. That way, it's not too different for them and they can feel semi-familiar to the setup.
Don't forget to press down on the bedding to compact it more. If you just leave bedding in there fluffy, it's not good for burrowing. It won't hold any types of tunnels, and it's going to get compacted anyways once the hamster walks back and forth on it. So you might as well just do it yourself so then you can give the proper amount of bedding.